And from so-called natural disasters to one of the world's worst man-made disasters, the Holocaust.
Yes, while echoes of never again is the message coming from the memorial events around the world this week, one Holocaust survivor carries the same message, but for a different set of victims.
Professor Hajo Meyer, you've travelled the length and breadth of Britain in recent days.
Yes.
How's it been?
Oh, it was very good. I had full, quite large audiences with good questions. And only yesterday evening we had some clashes with fierce and fanatic Zionists, but it was manageable.
Zionists against Holocaust survivors?
Yeah, sure. They have always been. Don't you know?
But
They considered us valueless human material. That's what they talk about.
But what are these clashes that you've had, and what has been the message that you've been giving out in your UK tour?
I talk a great deal about the difference between Judaism and Zionism, which are completely antagonistic to each other, and that especially in Israel, Judaism has been substituted by the Holocaust religion. And the Holocaust religion has one credo done by High Priest Elie Wiesel, and that says, nobody ever has and will suffer like we have suffered, and therefore we can do to other people what we want, because it will always be less than what we have suffered. So
you've just said that your message hasn't been popular with some people, the Zionists have clashed, but I've also been told that you've had standing ovations wherever you've gone.
Yes. Besides yesterday, I had ovations yesterday too, but the former, in the north, there were no Zionists in the room, so that was.
I mean, many accuse Zionists of using the Holocaust to deny rights, but how can they, when it comes to you, who is a survivor, how can they attack you? Surely,
no, because if whatever you are, first of all, they have a big disdain for survivors of the Holocaust anyhow, and if you are not a Zionist, they identify, they think that Zionism and Judaism is the same. They're completely different things. And look, this Hoffman says, don't you realize that if the state of Israel had been 10 years earlier, your parents would have survived? This idiot cannot understand that my
This is the man Hoffman who doesn't appear on our program, but we would welcome his email if he wants to reply.
But just let me finish this sentence maybe. Doesn't realize that if you survive because you do others harm, so if you take Palestinian country to survive, it's not worth surviving. That is my lesson of Auschwitz. You must try to survive, but never ever at the cost of others, because if you do that, your life has been spoiled. And I had a beautiful life.
Professor, how did you survive
Auschwitz?
I'm
only doctor.
Doctor. How did you survive Auschwitz?
Well, very much luck, and by the fact that two other reasons, that when I was a refugee from Germany as a kid of 14 alone in Holland. I learned to be a locksmith, and secondly, I by chance, I had a very good friend, 10 years older in Auschwitz, and we helped each other. And because Auschwitz was a very lonely experience, and you couldn't, in a way you couldn't trust anybody, but I could trust him, he could trust me, and we survived together.
Dr. Hajo, thank you very much for coming on board. This is very powerful stuff.